Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. You're on a new edition of Window on the World. I'm your host, Hector Moreno. Today, I have the pleasure of being accompanied by Adam Stiwi, a student here at MSU who is going to tell us about his native country, Tunisia. How are you, Adam?
I'm great, Hector. Thank you for having me.
Great. So, tell us, who is Adam Stiwi and where are you from?
So my name is Adam Stiwi. I am Tunisian Palestinian and I used to live in Jordan. I've been in a French school all my life and I'm currently a sophomore at MSSU.
Nice. And what's your major?
Marketing.
Marketing. And I don't know, how old are you?
I'm 19.
19?
Yep, just turned 19.
And what are your hobbies?
I like DJing a lot.
Oh,
It's,
yeah.
If there's an event on campus or anywhere by students, I'm usually there DJing.
Okay. So, can you describe us your hometown?
So my it's a bit complicated to answer because I've moved around all my life, but the closest answer I can give you is Amman, Jordan, the capital of Jordan. It's great. It's a small country, small city compared to Joplin even, but it's packed with pretty sure almost 4 or 5 million population. It's a great country to live in. It's fun, always something to do.
And Adam, you tell us that you live, that you were born in Saudi Arabia and then you moved to Jordan. And Jordan is like the part that you remember the most. So can you tell us a little more about it?
Yes, Jordan. So I was born in Saudi Arabia, lived there 10 years. Don't remember much of it. I was still a kid. And then we moved to Jordan. I lived there 7 years before moving here. Jordan is great. Going from Saudi Arabia and how it was almost 20 years ago to Jordan was a new experience for me. It felt open, so lively. It was full of life. There's a lot to do, a lot to visit. And it's great. The people are great, very welcoming too. All Middle Easterns are very welcoming. And it's a beautiful country, Jordan. One of the 7 wonders of the world is there, Petra.
Oh, yeah.
Wadi Rum is there. They filmed Dune and The Martian there. It's a desert, amazing. Aqaba, it's the only sea access that Jordan has. Very beautiful. Spend your summer there. And then more in the north, Sald, Jarash, they're all historical cities too.
Oh, yeah.
Since Jordan was under Roman rule for quite some time, so there's a lot of Roman heritage there. And it's just a beautiful country. Beautiful country.
I see. I don't know, you already mentioned some touristic places. Could you go a little deeper on those?
So yeah, Petra was a city carved into the canyon in the southern desert of Jordan. I think there was civilization there more than 5,000 years ago. And it used to connect trade routes from Saudi Arabia to Jordan, to Palestine, Syria, and Lebanon. There was a trade route going all the way from there. So it was kind of an outpost city. And when what people associate Petra with is the khazna. It's the vault. It's a huge vault carved into the stone of the canyon. It's very impressive, very big, and it still lasts till this day.
Yeah, I have never been there, but I have saw pictures, and yeah, it's impressive.
Yeah,
I could not imagine how impressive it will be to have it in front of me. And tell us, what will be like your favorite part of living in Jordan? Besides that, all your family lives there. Family and friends, yeah.
It felt Since I'm a young adult, I'm 19 now. I feel like all people in this, or most people in this age, tend to prefer a more active lifestyle. Like, oh, they always want to do some activity. They always want to go to this event, this concert, etc., etc. So, Jordan, since it was the capital and was always alive, there was a lot of stuff to do, a lot of things to do, and a lot of places to visit. And something else is that it's cheaper than here. So
I mean,
it's
it
cheaper than
should, yeah.
here. So everything felt kind of in my grasps. And once you really understand how life works there, you just go with the flow. You become part of it. It has an effect of, it has its effect on you. It charms you.
I see. And so I assume that's also like the part that you miss the most.
Yeah.
I mean, again,
And the food.
beside your family and
Yeah.
friends. You say you're part Palestinian, so tell us, how do those varied heritage are different?
So I've always been raised in an Arabic household. My dad is Tunisian, my mom is
Yeah.
originally Palestinian, but I've always, they mix well because you share the same language,
Yeah.
almost the same culture, and it's very family oriented. But what I feel is more of a issue is since I was always in a French school, always exposed to international people and different environments, I've always had a struggle between with how I identify, like who am I, and I still don't know.
Okay, so I assume your first language is Arabian then?
Arabic, yes.
Arabic, sorry.
Yes.
And
Arabic.
you also speak English, but you say French school?
French and Spanish. Yep,
Nice.
4.
Okay, so tell us a little about your country's culture. Uh, I don't know, what can you tell us about its people? Are they, I mean, your dad, you say it's from here, there, so is he a warm or cold person? Is he introvert or extrovert?
My dad, yeah, he grew up and lived all his life in Tunisia, and I've been there a couple times. No, Tunisian people are amazing. They're warm, more on the extrovert side, always welcoming, and very helpful too if you're ever in need.
Wow, that's pretty interesting, actually. I didn't expect that. So, tell us a little about the religion of Tunisia.
Tunisia was for a long time under Ottoman rule, so majority is Muslim, and culturally it is still a majority Muslim. But since its independence in 1956, it became a democracy and separated religion from the state. So there is no official
Got it.
religion, state religion, yes.
Got it. So the majority is Muslim.
Yes, majority
but,
Muslim.
But there are religious freedom and
Yes, religious freedom.
and no official religion of state.
Yes.
That's interesting, and it's actually not that common as one would expect on Middle East.
Could be, yeah.
Do you have like a national sport?
Tunisians love football, soccer. Sorry, soccer.
Yeah.
Yeah, we worship it.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you know about any cultural activities like parks, museums, theater.
Tunisia is mostly known for its tourism. A lot of its even economy is based around tourism, and there's a lot of beautiful places to see. Go visit Susa, it's a city. Tunis, the capital. Hammamet, another coastal city, and its proximity to Europe, especially Italy. We get a lot of tourists from Europe, which is great. Actually, a fun fact. Star Wars, Planet Tatooine was filmed there
Right.
in I don't remember the city, unfortunately. But
Yeah.
it was filmed in
Yeah,
Tunisia.
yeah, but I knew that. I even remember here about during the filming, they almost caused a war with the neighbor country because they thought that the Sandcrawler was like a military vehicle,
Yeah,
something
probably.
like that.
Yeah.
So, could you describe us some of the traditional Tunisian food?
Couscous is the number one traditional food. It's kind of like rice grains, but smaller. They're very much smaller than rice grain, with sauce derived from, I think, tomato, based of tomato, and with a lot of vegetables, meat or chicken, and it's great. Then there's also typical street food called bambaloni, which is kind of our donuts, and kaskrut. It's a traditional sandwich where you put everything if you're hungry.
Wow, it makes you hungry.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, some years ago, Tunisia was one of the protagonists of what we call Arab Springs, in which many Arabian countries get rid of their dictatorship governments. Tunisia is actually like the country that lived it the best through it, that had the better results. So, can you tell us what do you know about that? How's your country government right now?
So yes, about the Arab Spring, Tunisia was the first country to start it in December of 2012. There was a vendor who lit himself on fire to
Yeah.
protest against the corruption and mistreatment of the government and repression. And that sparked a whole national movement, which later on moved on to the rest of the Middle East. Now, Tunisia, yes, was one of the more fortunate countries where we saw change. The dictator at the time abdicated and fled, so there was more democratic elections later. There was some improvements, and it got better overall than before, but there's still some issues.
I mean, every democracy has its issues,
Yeah, of course.
but it you gotta generate progress, especially if we
Yeah.
consider how the other countries went.
Yeah.
And sorry for Syria.
Yeah, sorry for Syria.
Well, anyway, it was an interesting story. And if you thought it was interesting, stay tuned with us because after this commercial break, Adam will tell us the story of his life as foreign student in the United States, exclusively here in Window on the World by KGCS TV. Hello again, and for those who just joined, we are on Window on the World with Adam Stiwi. Welcome back, Adam.
Well, happy to be here.
Well, so on our previous segment, we discussed your country, but now we want to know a little more about you and your life, especially your experience here on Joplin, Missouri. So, for starters, what motivated you to study in the United States in the first place?
I honestly don't know. It was kind of a last minute decision. Like I said, all my life I was in a French school, and it was kind of expected of me to end up in Europe to study. And for a long time, Belgium was actually my first choice to go study there. But last minute decision, decided why not just completely start from zero. No, I know no one. Fresh start, why not move to the United States? And so I did, and I'm the only one from my graduating class who decided to study in the United States. And so far, I love it. It's great. It's been great.
I see. And how did you find about Missouri Southern?
So my uncle is actually a professor here in the kinesiology department, and when I was doing research for universities back in high school, he offered me the option, talked me through it, and I liked it a lot. So I'm here.
Nice. Greetings to your uncle.
Yep.
And tell us, before you come here, what were your expectations?
Mostly what I saw in movies about America. Tr- Classic things like how big things are here, how frat parties are in the United States, food, um, just activities too. And some of those things that I was expecting were true, but just exaggerated. I just didn't expect them to be that much. Everything is just bigger than I believed it would be here. Uh, People are greater than I ever imagined, honestly. It's actually why I love Joplin so much. It reminds me of home, how people are welcoming and warm with you. Um, yeah.
I see. So we can say that your your expectations live it true, but partially.
Yes, they were true. And I thought I wouldn't experience the cultural shock, but I think no one can escape it. So,
Yeah, yeah,
you know,
yeah, pretty much. I mean, I think even a British or a Canadian will have issues when coming here
yeah.
because of the cultural shock. So tell us a little more about it. How was your experience? How has been your experience living and studying here?
It's been great. I like my classes. Some I like less. But overall, I like my classes. I'm choosing my classes, which is great. I never would have gotten that in Europe if I had chosen Europe. Um, my friends here are great. Met a lot of great people. Um, there's also I got a job here at
Yeah.
the rec center, which is also great, and I love being able to connect with so many people, either at parties, at work, just around the city. And it's a small city, so there's always this family type connection or closeness.
Yeah.
And no, like it at MSSU. It could be boring in Joplin sometimes, yes, but no, it's I like the quiet.
Yeah, I mean, that's good uh, for sure. And you mentioned that so you have some classes here that you don't have, yeah, that you could not have on Europe.
No, in
And
Europe, what happens is you're depending on your major, on what your specialty is, you have to take these classes, and it's not necessarily what you want.
yeah,
They impose it on you.
got it.
Here, what I like is that there's still freedom of choice. Yes, there are some requirements to be met, but you have the choice between different classes or courses to get these requirements.
I see. And why did you say marketing?
Yes.
What get your attention for that particular major?
So for a long time, before choosing marketing, I wanted to be in general business management. But then I I thought about it. I still want a connection with my job to human beings, to people, and marketing was my way of doing that.
Okay.
And there's always some subtle social science behind it or human connection to it.
Yeah. I mean, that makes sense. And tell us, which has been like your favorite parts along here of living here?
I'm gonna have to say the people. I've met a lot of amazing people from different backgrounds, different stories. Um, I've it made it gave me a lot of real good friendships, and now I never would have thought it before coming here, but I can't imagine living without those friendships.
I see. That's very nice.
I know.
And I mean, is there anything about this experience that you will change if you can?
I don't believe in changing what happened. I don't regret it. Yes, some things are different from what I'm used to or what I expected, but I would not change it for anything.
Nice. Huh, that means you have been having a very good experience.
Yeah.
And tell us, what would you say are the biggest difference between live here in Joplin and in your hometown?
The food.
The food.
I cannot, I'm sorry, I have to say this, I cannot stand American food.
Okay,
It's, sorry, there's no life to it.
don't worry.
Food back home, there's love, there's different tastes. Here, I mean, my favorite food is just Chick-fil-A fries here with the Chick-fil-A sauce. But other than that, I've tried a couple things. Yes, they're good, but nothing compared to food back home.
I see. I mean, most of the international actually tell us the same. The food,
Yeah, I think it's universal.
is very different from home.
Yeah, I know I try to accommodate myself, like to find ingredients from back home here. Some I can find, some I can't. And since it's Joplin, it's a smaller city than, for example, Springfield or Kansas.
Yeah.
Whenever I get the chance to go to these big major cities, I always try to find Arabic markets and get stuff that reminds me of home, or snacks or ingredients. And unfortunately, the restaurants here aren't the same either. There's only one place that does shawarma here in Joplin.
Oh, really?
It's good. It's not, yeah, Bites and Pipes. It's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, beside the food, what would you say it's like your opinion about Joplin?
It's too quiet.
Too quiet.
Too quiet. Everyone goes to sleep really early. Coming from Amman, where the city that never sleeps, I would always hear cars moving from my room. Always people talking, shouting, screaming, singing. So being here, with the quiet, it can be unsettling at first. When I first came here, for the first couple of months, I had trouble sleeping because of how quiet it was. And then I got used to it. Then I went back home during the summer. Then I had trouble sleeping because of the too much noise. So there's a really bad balance, but I'm getting used to the change. And also, I'd like to add another thing to the previous question. Something different from back home is how, yes, big or the size of things and how everything is scattered around. It's impossible to live here without a car, which I don't really understand or like. I'm used to walking everywhere back home or small trips, public transportation too.
That's true also. Yeah, that's another common thing that everyone mentions. I mean, but it's what it is.
Gotta survive.
Anyway, so you mentioned that the people here kind of remind you to the ones back at home.
Yes, they do. People in Joplin are so kind, so welcoming. I've never felt, until proven otherwise, I hope it does not happen, I've never felt kind of put aside or not welcome by someone. Someone told me it's the Southern hospitality. So I think that Southern hospitality in the U.S. and the hospitality back home in the Middle East is kind of similar. So, which I really appreciate and I love.
I see. And tell us a little about your family. I mean, you mentioned your parents, but do you have any siblings?
I have one little sister. She's now 14. She's also in a French school. And I feel like she made her choice very early, but she wants to major in psychology. Yeah.
She still have time for change her mind.
Yeah, a lot.
And well, how does your family feel about you studying here?
They would have preferred if I went somewhere closer, like Europe, or even stayed in Jordan or went to Tunisia to study. But they've always supported me no matter what. And at the end, they always told me, yeah, it's your choice. We're going to support you. Even if we don't like it, we're going to support you. And I understand that they want proximity. I also miss them a lot. I can only visit them once a year. I try to at least. And with the time difference, it makes talking to them over FaceTime or anything like that kind of harder, because when I'm starting my day, they're going to sleep, or when I'm going to sleep, they're starting their day. So it's an issue, but they're proud of me. That's what they tell me. I hope.
That's.
I hope they are.
I mean, if they are, that's definitely good. And in general, it's good that they support you in one way or another. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm grateful for them.
And I mean, for concluding, can you tell us your opinion about Missouri Southern?
Great university, great campus. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. I think I said everything else. I love the university. Now, hopefully, they're gonna finish the construction soon. It's a bit of
Yeah, please.
it's a struggle. And yeah, no, I like MSSU. I love it.
And about people back at home, would you recommend them to study in the United States?
If they have the money to, yes. And if they're willing to drop everything they know and go on this adventure, yes.
And would you recommend Missouri Southern in particular?
Yeah. Yeah, I will.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Okay. Glad to hear it. Well, that concludes today's window on the world about Tunisia. Thanks to our dear audience for watching us, and thanks to you, Adam, for coming and share about your country and experience with us.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you again. I'm your host, Hector Moreno. This was Window on the World. I'll see you next time, and remember to keep watching KGCS TV for more content. Bye.